This is Too Long for a Voice Note, a podcast about everything and nothing at the same time, presented by Claire
and Enzo. Our podcast is produced in London. Some conversations are just too long for a voice note.
Hi guys, she's Claire.
And he's Enzo.
It's Too Long for a Voice Note.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another episode.
How's everyone?
How are you, Enzo?
I'm alright, and
Yeah.
you, my little Claire? Oh, good. I was gonna speak like this the whole episode.
Hello, welcome to... That's actually a very
deep
relaxing...
voice.
You sound like Michele, if you're like Michele voice.
Oh, really? It's like relaxing voice.
Well, it's been quite a week for both of us, and so do you want to explain?
Long week. It's been a long week. It's been a lot with work.
Yeah.
I'm trying to move from a new house. I'm going to so many viewings
So
lately.
many different things. It's just not been working.
I was thinking today, like, how many random houses I have seen the last few weeks. It's been like 25
Crazy.
houses or something. It's like how many different walls and toilets I have seen.
Terrible.
But yeah, we are working on that.
Yeah, and long story short, we've both been super busy at work.
Yes.
So, full disclosure, we do not have two secret topics of the week for you guys.
It happened, guys. You know,
We
you're
just-
surprised, right? Like, how they have no topics? Yes.
Exactly,
We talk
like,
a lot,
we-
we have no topics.
Genuinely blank, nothing, no inspiration. And I think this probably happens. Like, normally, like, you just
Yeah.
have, like, a really busy week or, like,
And also
life
think
gets in the way.
The
and-
war is a bit,
Oh.
not boring, but like heavy this last.
Sad.
I mean, June.
We
has
were
been
thinking
weird
of what
now,
to
yeah.
speak about maybe, and we were looking at the news, and it's so, like,
Yeah.
depressing. Everything, you know, was,
So
like,
it wasn't nothing really like
grabbed
grab
us.
us. So we were
Nothing-
like, let's
yeah.
do a special episode talking
Bonus.
about something that we sometimes discuss,
Yeah.
but we went to like, why not talk about this?
Just a random kind of
Yeah.
topic, and we felt like this kind of question that we were going to ask kind of lends itself to getting you guys involved as well. So
Yeah.
at the end of the topic, please do leave us a comment in the description to let us know your thoughts on this
Please.
topic, if you find it interesting, of course. But with
And,
that,
yeah, please, if you listen to this, remember to subscribe. Like, why are you not
Why
subscribed?
wouldn't
I'm sure you're
you?
not subscribed. So subscribe.
and if you do
like
subscribe,
it.
please do hit that notification bell to ensure that you don't miss a
Please.
video. We upload every single week.
And
so
like, and comment, say whatever. Drop emoji, whatever. All words, you know. We don't care. We don't need your words. Just an emoji.
Yeah,
No,
for
but
just-
thank you
yeah,
for
please do.
thank you for the ones that are interacting
Yes,
with us. Actually,
totally.
really grateful for you guys.
Mhm.
And well, the question, what was
Let's
like
get into the question.
talking about something that I think is really interesting. We both think is really interesting topic. It's about like how we. Okay, it's more than a question. It's like a whole situation.
I'm like, spit it
It's-
out, man.
let's-
Spit it out, man.
So, you know, we have the art and the artist, which is a whole thing. But what happened when the artist or the person behind the art that we love is like a really bad person? It's like a
Yeah.
really like a demon. It's really like a evil character. And how what we do with that? Like, for example, if it's a singer, we stop listening to music. If it's like a football player, do we start hating him
Yeah.
and not praise his work? Is about that as well. How we keep appreciating, praising, admiring, keep the legacy of someone that is not a good person.
Yeah, totally.
That maybe we discovered that early on, maybe we discovered later, maybe we discovered after the person died. You know, doesn't
Yeah.
matter the point, but it's like how we deal with that as
Yeah.
human. Like,
And we
shall
started talking about
yeah.
this because you mentioned about Maradona, right?
Yeah,
so
the
a really
football player.
famous,
football player,
football
player.
player.
Yeah, like if you don't know, probably you know Maradona. It's like probably one of the most iconic.
Hand of God.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
essentially,
like
yeah.
football players ever. He's Argentinian, and he passed away recently.
Yeah.
The
Last
thing is,
year,
like, he's such a as a human being, he was such a shitty man. He was like beating up the wife. There's a lot of cases about rape and things like involved. He has like he wasn't like a good person, and
He was
overall,
involved with the mafia, right? Because he was living in
theory,
Napoli, wasn't
yeah,
he?
in theory,
So,
there's a lot
yeah.
of and there's a lot of people saying like he wasn't like a shitty human overall.
I really did not know that in terms of it. But
Anyway,
the point
but
is,
it's,
like...
it's known, and you know,
yeah.
the thing is, when he passed away, people were praising him like, "Oh my God, the god of football, he passed away," blah blah. And actually, he was like a really bad person. He really hurt a lot of people, but still, people were praising him because of his talent. But for some, they were like, "Well, you're literally like saying like so many good things and loving someone that was such a asshole,
Yeah.
bad person." So, is that okay? Shall we just separate what his
Totally.
art, well, his form
Yeah.
of art, which is football,
Yeah.
which is iconic, from him as a person, but how you cut that? Where's the cutting point? How you separate one with other? Because they're like
merged. And I think it's really evident, and what's probably quite interesting to us in this case is with art, because you really put yourself into the art, don't you? Like, for example, obviously, like Woody Allen will be like a one that will like a spring to mind, because like he's written those films, he's directed them, sometimes like starred in them as well, and that's like completely him, which is a bit separate to maybe Maradona, who was like just doing something that he was good at. But do you know what I mean? And yeah, do you cut those people off? Like Michael Jackson, another one. Would you stop listening to his kind of art and music?
Exactly, because if you cut off Woody Allen and Michael Jackson from history, like, oh no, they're really horrible, but let's cut them off. Like, you know, imagine the amount of art you're just deleting, if that's the case. Or the amount of really good films that Woody Allen and this iconic, and they changed the industry in a way. You know, it's as Michael Jackson did. So what you do? You stop watching, you stop listening to them, you just ignore them. What do you do? I mean,
in a way, like, I definitely wouldn't listen to Michael Jackson, but I was never really a big fan. But Chris Brown is somebody who's very current, and I will definitely, because if for people that don't know, he really badly publicly beat up Rihanna
and other women
a few years ago.
Recently, I don't know, a new girlfriend, he beat up another woman.
So he's obviously not going to change ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will definitely like skip it if a Chris Brown song comes on Spotify, because he's often featured on stuff. I'll literally be like, no, because that's something like because the thing is, for me, I think this is just my personal opinion. Like, I won't be able to enjoy it if I know that in the background, especially with, like, you know, with art in a way. Like, I believe, especially with, you know, with music, there has to be a level of admiration for me to listen to their music and their lyrics. Of course, like, often it's not just them writing the lyrics, they have like producers working with them and that kind of thing. But
with musicians especially, you admire them as a whole thing. Yeah, it's a different level.
Totally.
I guess. Yeah,
and like, it's not like I need to know something about every artist that I listen to, but there has to be some kind of a connection for me there. And so for somebody who's like a woman beater, I can't get on board with those morals, that it just won't do it for me, kind of thing.
I understand the Chris Brown thing, but also I think that Chris Brown is so like current, and we live through that.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't like being aggressive to like his girlfriend. It wasn't just a girlfriend, it was Rihanna on top of everything, you know?
Yes, true.
Already, like, we have a connection with Rihanna as well, so it's like, wow, he's not just like abusive person, he's abusive person also towards someone that we love already.
Yeah.
So I think that has like a different, and like, yeah, I don't listen to Chris Brown. I mean, I wasn't never a big fan of Chris Brown. I do think he's talented and he's like a great dancer and all that.
Yeah.
He's really, really good and all that, but I don't listen to him anymore. Like, even the songs I like about him, because I don't feel it. It's like, ew, no, fucking Chris Brown, I don't want to give you my money.
Yeah.
But also, he's alive. So that's a different
that's
thing.
A good point.
What happens, for example, like, he's alive and you can just judge him and he can defend himself for, if you think about it that way, or he can say like whatever. You can maybe, you know what I mean? It's like, it could be like, the thing is, if you are dead, that's it. What are you gonna do about it? Like, oh no, well, Michael Jackson was a bad person, but yes, he there's nothing else there. So you just appreciate it, you just ignore the art that was created at the time. But
yeah, I get you. But then it's kind of worse in a way, because it's like, yeah, they can't be, Chris Brown can be reprimanded then, because he is alive, whereas nothing like Michael Jackson is never gonna, I can't even remember how it went with Michael Jackson in the end, like if he actually like,
he was very sick.
He wasn't in prison or anything like
that.
No,
he was at home.
It was always like rumours,
basically. I think they're confirmed, most of them.
They are now, aren't they? But if he had died by the time that they'd kind of confirmed
even though
it.
It's not 100% everything, but there's a lot of
completely. Whereas like, I don't know, is it kind of wrong in a way when people are alive and they are accused of things, like to take Chris Brown, where like he's not suffering any sort of consequences, and this is where like kind of humanity gets me down in a way, because you can say like somebody like Michael Jackson, you can say like back in the day, very troubled, blah blah blah, it's never really going to be confirmed, like obviously those poor victims, like if that is true, which it most likely is, like what's going to happen for them? Maybe they'll receive some compensation, but like it's kind of done. because he's dead.
That's
Whereas
my-
Chris Brown, you've literally just
that's my
said he was
point.
beating up his most recent girlfriend.
Yeah.
But what's actually changing for him? Nothing, because he's continuously popping up on our Spotify playlist.
And people will listen to him and who will get money out of it.
And this is
That's
bad.
a really good point.
You know?
Yeah, because it's a really good point. That's what I was thinking about. It's like it's complicated because for example, Michael Jackson or whatever, that's done. But at the same time, I feel, I don't know, I'm a bit conflicted with this, but I do think like I wouldn't like stop listening. I mean, I don't listen to Michael Jackson normally, even though I like a lot of his songs, I like them, but I don't go like, oh, my to-go music, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson. I don't do that, but I do believe like we're not talking about, that's the complicated part. We're not talking about a random guy that he was okay and we just like whatever. It was Michael Jackson. It was someone that changed the industry forever with his music, with his style. I mean, he's one of the most biggest like musicians
true.
ever. And if you delete him, you will delete half of the history in music and pop music after the 80s, for example. You know what I mean? It's
But
so
you're never
true.
going to delete him. That's the point. Like, you're never going to... That's never... Because what Michael Jackson did, I guess you're saying, is, like, what he did in music, like, then created a whole style that created loads of different artists
yeah,
and inspiration, as did, like, many artists, many, like, directors, etc. That's what, like, art and culture is.
Yeah.
And he was, like, transformational in that
Yeah, yeah,
industry.
yeah.
So you're never going to, like,
But-
undo his legacy.
But does that give him a free pass then? I mean, he's dead now. He doesn't have a
Well,
free
yeah,
pass.
now he has a free pass because he's dead.
Because he's
you
dead.
know?
The thing is, like, what if he's dead now? What do you do about it? Like, you stop listening to his music, and I mean, you are the one who's missing out something if you really like him, for example,
Yeah.
because it's like a form of art. It's like Woody Allen. I mean, like, the truth is, probably I won't. It's not like, oh no, I won't ever see again a Woody Allen movie. But if I talk about my morals, I shouldn't. Like, I
Yeah,
shouldn't
me,
like.
me too.
Right. It's like, but then you go back to that old movie like a classic, and maybe you want to watch it because it's a classic because of something. It has like a great actors, great filmmaking, great
Okay.
everything. And what do you do? Just not, I won't watch it because it's Woody Allen. So you are the one
So-
missing out there because you're missing out for experience, but then you're supporting this person
Because
at
you're
the same
supporting
time.
it, because you're watching it and paying for it. But
Yeah.
then what if, like, you, in any other job, maybe, other than a job that's in, like, the
Arts.
public,
Okay.
you can say, like, with your job, okay, yeah, we do work in creative, but like, we're not celebrities
Yeah.
yet. But, like, you know, what Enzo does at work and what Enzo does, it's like a separate thing, and it doesn't really matter, really. Like, of course, if you're involved in some kind of scandal
Yeah.
at work, like you've had a relationship
That's
with a
different.
co-worker or something, that's a different situation. But really, like, your
So
work
if I'm an
might...
abuser, nobody will know.
Nobody
at
will
work.
know,
Nobody will know.
presumably, because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
be there for your 8 hours and then you're gone, and then whatever
That's
you
it.
do, and of
It's
course
your
if they
life.
get wind of it, then that's a problem. But that you can very much have that situation.
Yeah, it's true.
So why, in like a public field, do we ask people to have like a different kind of thing in a way? Because it's the only real careers where that kind of happens.
That's interesting because that goes hand to hand with the same conversation we had about like before, like those like celebrities that need to talk about their plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I did this. You know, it goes on that. But I
Look
think
at us wrapping with the topic full circle. I'm going to leave a link in the cards
and you
now
will
to
click
watch
that.
it.
You will watch that episode because it's a good episode. But the truth is, that's the thing with celebrities or artists or people that are famous, because I think you admire them and you hold them to a standard and you know their names, what they like. You watch their interviews, so you connect in a human level, in a like it's not the same as you will connect with your coworker because the guy in the corner, he's abusive. Okay, well, hopefully he goes to jail, whatever. You don't care. But with celebrities, like you feel so connected to them. I guess that's the problem, which is interesting because then we give more value or like higher level to like, is a celebrity do something wrong that are random?
But I guess also kind of going off of what you were saying, it's sort of like they're making their money and they're making their name from the fact that people like them.
True, that's
and
the
therefore
complicated.
then
So you're
you
supporting
do
them.
have some responsibility.
True,
That's
a point there.
Is it is it really about them, or is it about what they're producing that we should be looking at? But I don't really think you can separate the two.
It's difficult. I do think I think it's almost impossible to separate both. But at the same time, that's why I'm conflicted with this topic, and I don't know what's gonna like. even though I choose like I won't listen to Chris Brown anymore, but it's like I really don't care about Chris Brown. They are
So
like
it was like an easy
it's an
thing,
easy
yeah.
thing. It's like yes, okay, but you know, if you tell me, I don't know, like I don't know, I love Christina, and imagine I discover she is a pedophile or she killed 2 kids, so something like that.
I really don't think you'd be able to handle it.
How am I gonna just stop listening to her music?
It's actually a really good thing to
You know?
say it in that way. How would you feel?
That's what I
And
do.
it's literally speechless.
Like I born my cities. Yes, guys, I have cities because I'm from that generation. It's not everything on Spotify. You know, I born my cities. Like you know what I
And some of your favourite songs, would
And
you
some-
be able to skip them?
just not listen to them
But
again.
then would her lyrics mean as much? Because one of the reasons I presume you like Christina is because her
yeah.
lyrics are so heartfelt.
Yeah,
It's such
yeah.
about like pain and like
yeah.
that kind of thing. Will you then be like, but you're a bloody paedophile? Like, of course, this is all completely like fabricated, made up. But like,
But that's humans we are. Like you know, like probably pedophiles or crazy, like I don't know, like killer. Probably could be like a really smart person that could produce something that it's so disconnected from his like horrible ways. You know what I mean?
but
Like
if you know about it, it's different. Because
Yeah.
of course, we might like something, and actually in 10 years' time, it turns out that like,
true. Yeah, it happens. Yeah,
you
you're right.
know,
Yeah, it happens all the time. That would be a shock because yeah, how I connect with all of this because maybe oh no, that's why all fake. Or
because
maybe
you connect with her because you like her, what you think
whatever.
she's
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
You know.
That's complicated. I don't know if I will. I don't know how I will like just stop listening to her music, but at the same time, how I listen to it without thinking about all of that. That's a really good
I
point.
personally think, not to be like, I personally will take the high horse. And for example, someone I love is like Bad Bunny.
But Bunny, yeah,
I will not listen to his music.
you
I
will
will
like
not be able.
cancel.
I won't be able to.
I get it.
He'll be
It's a good
forever
point.
tainted in my mind.
That's
I'll
a-
unfollow him on Instagram. I love his Instagram content.
Yeah,
All his catchy bloody songs.
you will be like no.
It will just literally be ruined for me then.
That's a good point. But I think that's a conversation sometimes is a bit struggling like, because some people they feel like, but what I do with everything that I love from these people, I guess with music it's very specific because yeah, if you like the person for the lyrics or for what they say or for the interviews,
Yeah.
that's really like a really huge connection. But with like a film director, for example,
It's true because Woody
found
Allen
that
I
too.
will still
I mean,
watch.
him. That's his that's his work. I mean, that's his ideas, his concept. So it's part of him as well, as much as a song. But it's a representation of a reality. So you can watch a movie without feeling like it's him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's still him.
Do you know what it is about
But-
music? I think music is really intimate. You
It's
know, and
intimate,
it's sort of like,
yeah.
oh,
It's
it,
intimate,
not that I
yeah,
don't.
true.
Obviously, like I love films, like it's one of my favorite mediums, but it's different. There's
different.
not that same,
Because you don't connect with the person, you connect with the.
especially the
more the
director.
art,
You
yeah.
probably would the actor more.
The
And for example, I
Mhm.
had an example of that with Casey Affleck.
Yeah.
You know, he
Mhm.
and then I will not. Now I will not. Not that I loved him really, but I will not watch anything with him in it because he's been convicted of sexual assault.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Not convicted but accused and blah blah blah. So yeah, for me I think
It's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a complicated one. Going back to the movies because I think it's more like, what would you ever watch again like a Woody Allen movie?
well, me and my mum watch Annie Hall every single Christmas.
How you stop watching Annie Hall?
And that's the thing because it's like a thing that me and my mum do. It's like a tradition.
And that's a
My
fucked
mum
up
and I
thing.
always watch Woody Allen films.
And-
It's our thing.
And what you do is like, okay, I mean, you could change your thing, but what happened with all these movies that makes you feel so good or that makes you feel inspired and makes you feel, but it comes from a person that it's really like not a great
Problematic.
person.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's complicated as fuck. And the same happens then going back to Maradona, especially because football has this energy and this thing. Football fans are so crazy about their idols.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, the people were like, oh my God, we lost an angel. We lost an idol of a generation. So people were like, obviously, but yeah, he was like a really fucked up person. He was really mean. He was so... Did we lose like an angel? Did we lose an idol? Did we lose somebody that good? I mean, he was
know.
talented, but he was fucking shit person. So it's like, a lot of people that were like, I'm not really like sad. It's like, well, I mean, he was his time. He was a fucked up one. But yeah, what you do there, like, especially like in a sport that you have this admiration for someone and people like, what, it's difficult.
It's really funny in a way because I think I was thinking when you were saying that about Maradona, like why why would people have connected with him in a way? Like, why were people so obsessed with him?
Yeah.
Like, why was he such an icon?
I mean, he was a great football player. The personality,
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
guess.
He
And
was
it's-
maybe charming.
I suppose.
And
but-
he did all this. I mean, in a sports field as a football player, he did things that no one ever did before. So
yeah,
it's like
and I guess
admiration.
you just get like attached to people
get
for some
attached.
reason that you don't
Yeah.
know why. I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I would struggle in a way.
I think I wouldn't wear a Maradona t-shirt
no.
again. Even if I love him, I wouldn't wear a t-shirt saying Maradona in the back because you are like basically carrying the name of someone that
it's like the
all
thing.
of
Like
that.
I know you'll
That's-
find it a
yeah.
bit like
Yeah.
whatever when I bring this up, but you know how I think you find it like very problematic. When I do find this very strange when people wear like a Che Guevara t-shirt.
Che Guevara, yeah.
It's very odd, you know, and it
It
goes
goes
in.
like-
That is kind of a similar thing, which I know that we're going a
The
bit off on a tangent, but
admiration.
I always think like, how the hell did like that come in where like people are wearing his face on a t-shirt
'Cause they-
and they, you know, what
Because
you
they choose what to
believe,
believe.
which will be about Madonna
Oh,
and everyone as well.
like. It's like I choose to wear this Maradona t-shirt because he was a great football player, not the
and you
rest.
blank the rest.
I choose wear Che Guevara because maybe he was some of his ideas were right because he was anti all these things, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But I choose to not
think
think
about everything
about-
else.
all the shit he did, for example. So I think it goes in that way. So it could go back to Michael Jackson. It could be like, oh, I would choose to his music because his music, I will decide to separate his art from him because his music is timeless and there's no better songs in the world than his songs.
Yeah.
And I just won't let myself. I think it's also like I won't choose to live my life without these songs that make me feel so good. But it's complicated because you need to switch and it's like
Because also there's like, I was
it's-
going to say like there, because people might say like, oh, but Maradona, for example, it was human. He was a human. But there's like different levels of shit. And like sometimes like allegedly like what Michael Jackson did, for example, was like, it's really like, he was like a pedophile.
yeah,
Like,
that's
and there's like a
hardcore
different
shit.
level, you know, like not that you can really like, I know everybody has like different morals and stuff, but we have to have some kind of like baseline.
But then again, if we were in the times that you don't know anything about the artist, you just know
Okay.
the music, you just know the film, that's it. You have no other connection with the artist. You will never know what they do behind doors. So what happened there? You know, like probably that happens a lot. You know what I mean? Like we know this because we're in a world that we're very well connected, or back in the day even, like we have news, we have press. But if we didn't have press and we didn't have any way to find about their personal life,
yeah.
we would just know the art.
Yeah.
What
And
if we
that's-
never knew about Michael Jackson being a pedophile? We'd be like, oh, he died. You know, it could have happened.
But it wouldn't have happened though, because that's what happened with somebody like Jimmy Savile. Do you know Jimmy Savile?
Who's
He's
Jimmy
quite
Savile?
British, but he was like really, I mean, he's definitely before my time as well. Like I
Yeah.
think he was really big in the UK, like in the 70s or something. But after he died,
Yeah.
loads of people came out and said he was a paedophile, like horrific
Wow.
man, like really. I believe he
That's
was
difficult to.
on a like a kids TV
Oh,
show.
no,
It was like
God.
that kind of creepy,
Yeah.
and he was like a rapist, like boys got like
So I will understand
horrendous.
people's.
and then loads of people came forward and it was like a massive thing in the
Mm-hmm.
UK, but he got away with it
Because
because
yeah.
it was back in the day. So that is the blessing of like social media and stuff like that. Like for example, let's again bring it back to another episode with Armie Hammer. There was no way that what he did was going to go under the radar because he was communicating with these women on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're fucked, and probably rightly fucked
Yeah,
in a way.
but it's true. I don't want to watch Amy Hammer again in a movie. You know,
No.
I don't wanna.
Because
I don't
how
want to,
can you then like?
Well, at the same time, it was Amy Hammer. You know, that's the point. I want to like, you know.
I liked his films though.
Me too, but it's like it's not the end of the world, you know. While Michael Jackson or Woody Allen,
But
you
then
know,
you're basically saying that I think it's a fair
Because I'm
point
thinking about
of
the
like,
art.
but you're thinking about like what is meaningful to you and what like would you
That's-
like we said with
that's true.
Christina, like if it was Christina, would you be willing to give up that, or are the others you're
True.
not
so
actually
giving like a
boycotting them.
value of them.
Yeah.
So this is better and worse, which is also
But
wrong.
actually, it's just because it's not that hard for you to boycott Armie Hammer or Michael Jackson because you didn't mind that much, kind
True,
of
but
thing.
what what if it's the hardcore fan of Maradona or the Michael Jackson?
Exactly.
Then
And
will
then
be the
will
same.
you?
True.
That's
They will
the
be like,
thing.
well, yeah, you're making your choices.
And I
of who,
guess
like,
we've never really been tested yet, thank God, because obviously, hopefully, we follow like amazing. You're like, Christina, don't do me like
don't do
that.
that to me. No.
But like, would maybe like, for example, Bad Bunny, would it be like? Maybe actually, I say this now, like, oh well, definitely, and then I'll find myself like.
In the kitchen, like, Claire, excuse me, listen to Bad Bunny. Oh, no, the playlist. Oh, fucking Spotify. Like a Chris Brown, like, talking to Chris Brown. It's like, who are you, Claire? Who are you?
But like,
No.
maybe because we've never really been tested, and I
never been
haven't given up. Woody Allen, look at me,
True.
bloody hypocrites.
Anyway, guys,
Wow.
this topic is, I think it's a conversation. Here's a bit like, what we do with this, but we would like to, we're like, where we go, why we're doing this. Yeah, but it's hard because we don't have the answer for this, and I think most of people they don't. But
Yeah.
I heard people being really like, I won't stop listening to my favorite music. I won't stop watching my favorite movies because I love the art behind it. Fuck whatever else. So we want to know, what
Definitely.
do you think?
Totally, I
What
would
you
love
will
to
do.
know.
So we will do like something on Instagram, right?
Yeah, we'll do a poll, a question on Instagram,
Yeah.
and we'll share in the episode following that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see the results and what people
We,
kind of
we
say.
would like to know, what will you do exactly?
Totally, because like really don't have the answer to this
Yeah.
one.
And we'll for sure, when we know all the answers, we're gonna discuss about this at the beginning of the next
For
episode.
sure. So that's
to
why
see-
you must subscribe so that you
Exactly.
get all the answers
Yeah, to
from
Instagram.
these two
That's
faces.
right.
Exactly.
So you go to Instagram, you follow us on Instagram as well. Then you go to stories. You know, it's a lot of things to do.
Whole
But
thing.
all
Yeah.
no, yeah. I really want to know more about this because
Yeah.
it's very like what we do with this. So
And evolving, I think.
evolving
So yeah.
topic. So yeah,
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. As
Hope
always,
you like our special episode.
bonus episode,
Yeah.
and see you next week, guys.
Bye bye. See ya.